Hello, everyone. Welcome to Geekonomics. We're back another week, another show. A lot happened over this past weekend. Bryon went to his first wrestling show, live and in person.
It was awesome.
We had the East River Comics and Collectibles show.
It was awesome.
Where we both vendored at, and a lot more. We also have Acolyte Ep5 we're going to chat about, and we're going to wrap the show up because it is a PLE week. It's a holiday, and it's a PLE week. Money in the Bank this Saturday.
Oh, my God.
So there's a lot to cover, so we got to dive right into it. I'm not going to do any of the pleasantries, none of the, hey, how you doing? What's up with you? Bryon.
All right. I'm going to do housekeeping real quick. I know we usually save this part to promote a show, but we don't have a show to promote.
Robin Doug.
So next week, we are going to have off. I'm on vacation. We'll be back on the week of the 15th.
Yes, with our review of Money in the Bank.
We will have...
And also probably the end of Acolyte, because that'll be done by then, right? Hopefully.
We have 3 episodes left.
Oh, God.
Then we'll be back on the 22nd, and then the week of the 29th, we'll have a review of Deadpool, Wolverine.
Yes.
Also, we're going to have our prediction for SummerSlam, but we will be doing this show on Zoom because you'll be on vacation.
I will be.
And I am throwing it to you. You're on vacation. We don't have to do the show.
Well, because I'm going to want to talk about Deadpool.
Okay.
It's a big thing.
But we have a PLE that week, too.
We do.
So
there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
So we can't just, wait.
We can't wait. So we will be doing
I'll take a sec. I'm not really going anywhere that day. So I'll be home.
Okay.
So Claire's still working, so.
All right. So in that case, we will be doing that on Zoom. So
we'll also have that same show. We'll have our Blink-182 review, because we'll be going to Blink that week.
Blink on Wednesday. Deadpool 3 on Thursday.
Yes.
And then, busy week.
Yeah, then a PLE.
So much fun.
That's why I'm taking the week and a half off, because I'm going to be exhausted.
Yeah. So that's our
no sleep till Brooklyn
of the month. And
yes.
I feel like we have a PLE every week, it feels like.
It does feel like it's getting a little bit intense on the PLE sides. It needs to pull back a tiny bit.
They do one every month.
It feels like they do one every week.
And time has been flying by.
It has been. I literally was just telling the people yesterday that we're going to do a show. I'm like, I was typing into the thing, like, the date of the show, and it's like July. I'm like, oh, God. I feel like it was yesterday was January.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Zooms by.
It does when you're having fun. We had a lot of fun this weekend.
Yes, we did.
I think we should dive into Saturday night.
Yes, we went to Blitzkrieg Pro. We took our brothers. You brought Tony.
Yeah.
Or Tony
I brought Tony.
walked / drove his car to the event.
And you brought your brother.
I have no idea why he did that, but it's Tony, so you never ask questions.
Because it was raining.
It was raining. It was sprinkling out.
But I have to say this. Mark. In retrospect, looking back on that day, I think it was very, I don't want to be sappy, but it was very heartwarming that we can look, like, I never foresaw us, you and me, bringing our younger brothers and hanging out. And it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Yeah.
So I think that's a special moment.
Yeah, it's fun to have a little wrestling tribe now.
Yes.
We have a little crew.
Well, we have hung out together.
Yes, I know.
The four of us.
We were trying to be nice.
No, I'm just saying, but it hasn't happened often or recently.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah.
But
yeah, it was. You weren't there for the first half.
No,
because you were
which was
at
hilarious.
An event, which is hilarious because it was very fun sitting with Tony, and him and I sitting. He's like, send him a picture of his empty chair.
Yeah. Oh, he's gonna be so mad. He's gonna be mad. He's missing out on.
He's missing this. I can't believe he's missing this.
I know.
And it's literally just the whole time, just his mouth agape from the time the thing started.
Just like this.
Just astonished about everything.
The whole time.
And
Mark
the fact that he goes,
look at Tony.
I turned to Josh because your brother's like, oh, I gotta go to the bathroom. He gets up, goes to the bathroom, and 2 seconds later, Paul London comes out.
That's hilarious.
And I was like, I turned to Josh, like, that's very Kazakhstan.
It was hilarious.
It's just like, I just missed the big thing I was here for because I had to go to the bathroom.
Well, don't forget the best part.
And then Paul London's entrance now as he walks around and sings the Thunderball theme song.
Okay, because someone mentioned that to me.
Yes.
That Paul London's a good singer, and I was like, "Wait, you put out music?"
Yeah, no, he
but
just
I missed that part.
Sings the whole theme song to Thunderball.
Wow, I really missed something special.
Yeah,
that's
from
awesome.
James Bond.
Walking around. He
did
the
whole
3
place.
laps.
Wow.
Yeah, walking around the whole event space.
That's awesome.
To the point even where he almost walked into the bathroom.
Tony
was literally in the bathroom. So Tony comes back and he's like, oh my God, he sounded so loud. I was like, yeah, because he was literally like right outside the bathroom. And he was like, oh, I thought I was going to walk in. I thought he was like some guy behind me singing. I'm like, who is that? And then he's in the ring, and then Tony doesn't recognize him at first.
Yeah.
So Tony's just sitting there, and I just turned to Tony like, Tony, that's Paul London. He's like, oh my God, that's Paul London.
He probably, because he looks a little bit different.
He's got longer hair now.
Yeah, he's got longer hair. He's older. He's got gray and a beard and everything.
He's a little bit thinner.
He's got a beard and everything now.
Right.
But yeah, so that was pretty awesome. And then you showed up
Right before halftime.
right before halftime.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
that was awesome for intermission, they call it, in the
intermission.
wrestling.
But it was.
Yeah, so we did that part.
epic.
We got a picture with Paul London, the whole group of us.
Yes. Wait, let's tell the story. So, Tony's just like me. I get really.
It must be a
starstruck.
Kazaska thing.
I get really shy around famous
It's seriously
people.
a Kazaska thing.
It is a Kazaska thing.
But no, but like, so Mark, this was very nice of you. I think you broke the ice. You leaned into Paul London and you said, "Hey."
No, because no. Back this up.
I'm
Before you
giving
even
you
get
a
to that,
compliment.
I know, but before you say the
You're
compliment,
getting all mad.
I'm not, because what you said to your brother is this. You said to your brother, because he was like, "Oh, you're like, oh, do you want to get a thing for Paul London?"
Yeah.
Your brother's like, "Oh, I don't know, I'm nervous, I don't know." So you said, "Oh, this is great. I get nervous around famous people too.
Yeah.
So this is why I'm friends with Mark. Mark, go up and talk to him.
Yes,
Mark, you go
yes,
talk to him."
yes,
I'm like,
yes,
not
you're
even in the conversation at the time. I'm like,
But you're good like that.
okay. So I guess I'm going to go talk to Paul London now.
But you did it.
So
You
yeah.
did
So
it.
then back to your story.
No, but
where
it was very nice of you. I think it was very good. You leaned in. You said, "Hey, Paul." You said, "Our friend here, Tony. He's a big fan. He wants to say hi. He's a little
It's his
nervous."
first wrestling show. He's
You're
very
right.
nervous. To
And
talk
I
to
have
him.
to say, Paul London, class act.
Yes.
Because not only did we get a group photo, he gave my brother a picture. I mean,
Well, because we bought the combo.
Yeah,
Because we
we-
felt bad just like
Yeah.
4 guys getting one
but
photo.
he
so-
goes, "What picture you want?" Tony pointed to one. He goes, "This is for you, buddy." Signs it, and then he had him touch his head where you got
Because the one he has a photo where when he was on SmackDown back in the day,
He was
got
winning the cruiserweight.
cracked on the forehead, on the head by a chair, I believe.
probably.
And ended up having to get 22 staples in his skull.
Yeah, and he's got a
So
big
he
old
still has the
bump.
scar
Yeah.
mark and everything. So he's like, "Here, touch my head," and
Yeah.
had Tony like touching his head.
And then he wrote on
He's
the
like,
picture.
"Oh my gosh!" He's like, "Yeah, 22 staples."
Yeah.
and still,
But
you know,
we left that, and I have to say, Paul London was super personable.
Yeah.
He made Tony feel really special. Like
yeah.
Tony's like,
He gave him a hug and
"Oh my
everything.
God."
Tony was just like shaking.
yeah. He's like, "That was
He was
amazing."
basically like anytime Brian went to any show that we did back in the day.
yes.
So
Yeah.
Brian would leave shaking. I'm just like, cool.
Right. Anyway,
They're just folks just like us.
Yeah.
They just have a cool job where they get to do things.
I know, but like,
but
you
then
know.
like we get back and we sit down,
yeah.
and your brother had said it to me earlier. I don't know if it was before you got there. I think it was before you got there. He's like, "Well, you know, it'd be really cool if at the end of this, Dijak showed up and kicked everyone's butt."
He didn't
so I
say that.
lean-
He
I
just
lean in
said, "I
front-
think Dijak could show up."
Yeah, because I just lean in front of him and look over at Josh, and we both
Well,
like,
and that's the other thing is because we were telling him the story about because we've gone a few times a couple years ago,
yeah.
and Mark because he helped out because didn't they do a show for a little bit, kind of.
They did a show here for a
Yeah.
while. Yeah, they would come in and
So
introduce
Mark
the stuff
Mark
and
has gotten to
everything.
know a few of the guys, and one of them happens to be Dijak, and
Well,
we told him the story.
Yeah, back when they first started the promotion, Jeremy, who is one of the guys that works on it and is also a wrestler, was looking for help to get like crew help for the shows. So they started coming here and they needed crew. So I knew to pray and John, James, who are friends of ours, like roundaboutly. We're all into wrestling because we were in a wrestling group on Facebook together. A bunch of guys that were all wrestling guys.
Didn't we take Dupre to a Raw show or something once?
No, we met up with them at a
That's
show.
what it was,
Yeah,
yeah, okay.
yeah, because they go to all the shows.
Yeah, that's what it was.
So I recruited them because at the time Dupre was in between jobs and John was also in between jobs. So they started helping here to do their show, like being camera guys. And then through that, they started doing events and they started doing like at the Polish home when they first started doing shows there. They're looking for crew guys. So John and Chris and I started helping them out, like setting up chairs and doing
And
the
ring
different
people
things
to
and-
help with like
Yeah.
tear down and set up.
organizing the wrestlers, and we started shooting stuff downstairs or in the locker room area, interviewing wrestlers and stuff.
Yeah, we would we would
Teaching
do
them
full
how to do it
interstitials and
stuff.
everything.
Like helping Jeremy at the time, his girlfriend Brianna. She was doing like the like backstage interview stuff. So it was like showing them how to do like interviews. Like I was basically teaching everyone how to do any interviews because none of them had done them before. Yep. So it was really crazy because at the time it was Donovan Dijak was coming through. Max Caster was still in Independence. He's now in AEW. MJF, who is a big guy in AEW, was just starting out. There's like this whole group of guys.
Wasn't Luchasaurus and like Orange Cassidy came once?
Orange
something?
Cassidy, Chris Statlander, like
yeah,
a lot of the people who are on AEW, basically. Mark Sterling.
Oh yeah, Smart Mark,
who worked in TV too. So he was another guy but he was wrestling, so it was kind of like tough for him to show people how to do stuff. But he was showing people how to do like vignettes at home and shoot stuff. So it was like that whole group of people. So it was very crazy. It was a very organic like group of folks. Like Private Party, the whole team of Private Party was there and everything. So this whole like generation of guys that were all there at the time had all kind of like all moved on now. And so I kind of like befriended some of them, like Dijak especially, because he was like a giant and he was like the tallest guy and just ridiculously tall. So I would always just...
Anyone who makes me look small is huge.
Well, because I'd always joke around with them because every
tall.
time because they used to have the locker room in the downstairs banquet hall. They'd have to come up the stairs to go to the ring. So I'd always joke with Donovan that he'd have to duck every time he'd have to go in and out of the doorways. So I'd be like, "Oh, watch out, giant coming through, everybody! We're gonna get this guy through." Oh, like even Ivar from the Viking Raiders, those guys were there. So it was crazy. There's a bunch of people that are now on the big time that are.
And it was also hard with them coming from downstairs because you had to cover like that whole walkway.
Yeah, so we had to like cover the whole thing, and like I had like we had talked them into getting like the shades like we have here.
Yeah.
To use as like the way for guys to get up and into the ring.
Yeah.
So Donovan too, to joke about you'd have to like duck down to like be able to so no one see like his like head just basically going across the top of the blinds. So yeah, so we joke around all the time and joke, and he was always interested in TV stuff, so I was talking to him about stuff, and we would just, and he was a sports guy, I was a sports guy. We ended up just talking all the time, like Scotty Wilde, all those guys. So fast forward to this past weekend, his contract was coming up with WWE. I knew that was happening because he had posted about it online and everything, and had been on the dirt sheets and all the internet and all that it was happening. And then Blitzkrieg posted Saturday afternoonish, I think Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon.
It was. They
posted a photo of like a just
side
like
profile above the
nose
eyes.
up shot, like nose to forehead shot of a guy with sunglasses on, and I just like
mystery guest,
and I'm like, that's Donovan Dijak. I know exactly
Mark picks me up and he goes. Mark literally picks me up and he goes, "You saw it, right?" And I go, "Yeah."
Hey, Donovan's gonna be there tonight, so that's gonna be awesome because I haven't seen him in forever. I haven't seen him in like 6 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it was kind of crazy.
Since you got hit with a chair.
Yes, I got hit with a chair. That was the last time I saw him when he fought Cody Rhodes at Fermi, actually, in the gym.
Yes.
Which I have in my office still signed. It's pretty neat. So end of the show happens. The show was amazing. I think it was probably one of the best shows I've ever seen them.
It was honestly amazing.
Yeah, like
that was like one of the
front
best.
to back. There wasn't a bad match. Nothing was like
it was so much fun,
slow or boring.
I told Josh this morning watching Raw.
Yeah.
First thing pops in my head, man, I can't wait to go to another local show again.
Yeah.
It's literally like, oh my god, it was so much fun. I had a blast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was telling Claire, I was like, if Brian thinks that this was fun,
it was fun.
I can't even imagine what Kazaskas are going to be like at a WWE event.
Tony has been to one. He's been to a couple.
Yeah.
I'm the only one who hasn't. But
I know
Tony
because
has.
Tony's went. I've seen him at. Ran into him in Hartford. I think a show.
Tony's been to one at Foxwoods.
He went with Kevin, I think, back in the day.
Yeah, he went to one in Rhode Island. He went to like one of the PLEs in Rhode Island one year.
But he went to Hartford a couple times because I remember running into him there.
Yeah, so he's been to him before.
Yeah.
But I haven't. But let's get into the fact that after halftime, we had a couple good matches, but then we had CPA.
Yes.
Belt match.
CPA was going for the championship against TJ Crawford, who has been a champion there. Is basically their Roman Reigns. Has been the champion for a long time.
CPA is hilarious.
I told you CPA was going to be your favorite.
He is my favorite.
Yeah.
He was amazing. I love his gimmick. I don't even want to ruin it because if you don't know it, because it's really funny when you first see it.
Yeah.
And it works.
Yeah.
And he's a crowd favorite. Everybody loves CPA.
CPA has literally been there since the beginning. Like he has been
I believe it.
a part of the thing the whole time.
Now,
and his like character has always been like the underdoggy guy, and basically like started out at the very beginning, just being pummeled continually,
but
and would lose continually.
And they put a great match on.
Yes.
So
to see his like, it was kind of cool to go back.
Yeah.
And I said this to Jeremy. It was like I feel like a dad, like going back and seeing like all the kids have grown up and they're all like doing great now. And it's like, oh my gosh, this is amazing! Look at all you guys. Like a teacher.
That's
almost.
like
Sweep.
Sweep. Sweep is a full wrestler.
Yeah,
now.
Sweep was a full wrestler who literally was like I remember
was the ring
when
guy.
we first started, was literally just a kid working the ring.
Oh, Sweep. What about the rabies guy? Who was that?
Mooney.
Mooney?
He's not from around here.
I know,
but
he was
yeah,
funny. That was hilarious.
Yeah, that's a gimmick that could go old quickly, but it's pretty cool. But
It
it's
was
one of those
fun
ones.
for one match.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
granted, if I saw him every time and that was
Yeah.
the same gimmick, but it was
Yeah.
a fun.
Yeah.
Fun. You know, I think the crowd.
It was a great crowd.
Yes.
A very great.
It was
crowd.
It was a weird chant.
Yes.
Yes, it was
a
very
very
funny.
weird chanting. We hope you get rabies.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
But real quick, we had CPA. He basically wins the championship. It was very
Yes.
much akin to Cody Rhodes winning at WrestleMania because everybody comes out to celebrate with him.
Yeah, all the faces come out.
Yes.
Jeremy and Marcus Mathers,
And
Bobby Orlando.
Bobby Jr.
Yeah.
Bobby Orlando, who literally began as the ultimate heel.
Yeah.
Who's literally his character now, but just like turned up to being complete D-bag, basically.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny to see him now like being like everyone's favorite because no one liked him before. He was like the worst. Like he was totally like the bad guy, and now he's like the biggest baby face.
So this is celebrations happening on this on in the
CPAs
ring.
on everyone's shoulders.
And then all of a sudden, from the back, we see someone wearing black. And Mark, you hit me.
Well, no, because I
Yeah,
literally see
yeah,
the door
someone.
open. Because we're across from the door that leads down the back.
I was looking at.
Well, I know
the ring.
how the building works, so I know like that door leads down the back stairway.
Yeah.
And like the door opens, and this ginormous figure comes
All
complete
in black. Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, it's about to go down.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I see him like slurking in. He kind of like slurks into the ring
From behind, nobody saw
from
him.
behind them.
Yeah.
Be it it's the hard camera side, so technically they were facing the wrong direction,
Yes.
but whatever.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. So then he comes in the ring. He stands, he faces the crowd. He's wearing like a ski mask kind of thing. Pulls the top part of the ski mask off. I knew
place-
exactly who it was. People
Oh,
still weren't completely sure.
Yeah, it was hilarious when
'Cause, like,
when he
everyone
took,
around
and
me
people
was
saw
just
the
like,
hair and went,
huh?
But
But you
everybody
saw
stood
people
up.
And then
Huh?
like they were like, that's somebody. It's a giant man. It's somebody. We don't know who this is. And then he pulls the front part down over his face. And then the people who know who he is and have been there for a long time, they start
Lost their
marking out.
mind.
A lot of folks who are newer fans had no clue who this was.
No.
And then I started screaming Dijak. And the people were like, oh my gosh, that guy's from NXT. So then they all like freak out.
Well, Tony he knew who it was.
Tony flipped out because he was like,
but the whole place, it was a pop-off moment. The
Yeah.
whole place went
the building
bonkers.
blew off. The roof
Yes.
blew off the place.
And I have to say, Mark, I haven't seen you so excited. I saw you, and I haven't seen you do something like this. You were like, yeah. Like, I'm like, wow.
Well,
Mark
it was like
is
seeing a
in.
guy, like seeing a friend of yours you haven't seen in a while, and you're like, oh my gosh, look at he's gonna do the thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, do the thing, do the things that make me go yay.
Oh, you
So
loved it. We
yeah, it was
loved
awesome.
It was
Feast your
fantastic.
eyes is one of my favorite things ever.
Everybody
it's a
started
great, it's a
chanting
great
that. Yeah.
like build up to a move. He does the whole thing with his arms and points to his eyes.
Yes,
it's like
yeah,
really well
yeah,
done.
Yeah.
It's really like he will be on another company in no time. He's not going to be around long, but
Right.
he'll still be in the independent
yeah.
area, but he'll be on like one of the big network
He did his little
channels.
spiel.
Yeah.
He kicked everyone's butt.
Yes. Just destroyed everybody.
He destroyed everybody.
Yes, which is what he should do. He's
Yes.
like a giant.
And then he was very nice.
My,
and
my
Yes.
favorite part
did
is
photos
always
and autographs.
the after when it's like, oh my god, he killed that guy. Can we get a picture?
Hey man, how's it going? What's
I
new with
know,
you?
I know.
Yeah, because it's just like one of those things. It's like that's how
That's
wrestlers
wrestling.
are.
Everybody knows that.
That
yeah.
once the show's over, the gimmicks go away, and you're just working
Oh,
together.
I know,
and,
but that's just
like-
always going to be my favorite thing.
like Kirby Wackerman, who's one of the biggest heels of the whole company, is like tearing the ring apart, hanging out with everybody, talking, shooting beers with everybody.
Yeah.
So it's awesome. That's the one thing I like about the independent stuff. It's like everyone knows each other. It's
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
cool thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was kind of neat. And then it was like crazy to go over and talk to, like, you had that moment. I was telling Claire, it was like, so how was it seeing Dominic? I'm like, it was very funny because it's like that moment where you haven't seen somebody in a long time. So you don't like remember, you like remember who they are, but not like completely sure. So we're having the conversation and Josh tells him, oh, my brother's the one you hit with a chair, is the Fermi against Cody Rhodes. And he's like, oh, it's the only time I ever beat Cody. And then he like turns back at me and like looks at me and I look at him and he's like, oh, hey man, how's it going? And it was like, oh, hey, yeah. So that was kind of funny.
And we
But
got a photo with him.
We got a photo with him.
And Tony got another autograph.
I got Tony another autograph.
And he blew his mind.
Yes.
Again.
Yes. And Tony's like, you're the only reason why I watched NXT.
Yeah, that's what he said.
He's like, thanks. I got fired, by the way. Thanks.
Well, he loves NXT.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But yeah, Tony got himself. His mind was blown.
He was beside himself.
He didn't
I haven't
know.
seen Tony that excited about anything ever.
Yeah.
It was like you made a great example. It was like taking Hustle anywhere.
Yes. Yes. It was like taking Hustle to just like
Yeah.
to Wendy's.
Yeah.
What? A number 5?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
You get
So
what,
it's-
chicken nuggets and French fries?
yeah, what a
I
combo.
can get chili.
Yeah.
It's a combo.
It's a
What
combo.
deal.
But anyway, yeah. But it was a fantastic night. I had a great time with the 4 of us. I think I'm excited to go to another event like this again. It was a lot of
Oh,
fun.
Brian.
Yeah.
The other good part was him wanting to tell your grandpa, but not wanting to, like, wake him up to tell him.
No, he was going to be home. I said, Tony, when you tell Grandpa what happened, you have to tell him the order of events. You can't
Yeah,
just be
just-
like, guess what signature I got? You
Yeah.
got to say, the end of the match happened, then Dijak showed up. Like,
Yeah.
you got it. Like, and he's like, oh. And he texted me the next day.
Yeah.
And he said my grandfather, because he watches wrestling too. He watches NXT and all that stuff. He
Yeah.
knows who Dijak is.
Yeah.
He just couldn't believe these people
Yeah.
were in Enfield right up the street.
Yeah. It's hilarious the amount of times your brother turns to me and he was like, this has really been like walking distance from my house.
I know.
This has really been walking distance from my house this whole time.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, do you not wonder what that noise was randomly every couple months? And he's like, I thought about it, but never really made the connections.
Well, the thing is, it's Thompsonville. You
Yeah.
don't walk around at nighttime.
No,
So,
no, I know.
so like, if
But-
he's not, Tony's home. He
Yeah.
works. He's home.
Yeah.
But like when Allison dropped me off, I get out of the car and you just see lights and you're, oh, and I go, well, that's where it is. I just got to figure
How
out the
to get up
door.
there. Yeah, gotta figure out how to get up there.
But man, so cool. And the next day on Sunday at the East River, like I was talking to people coming to my table, and a lot of people had went.
Yeah.
And it was kind of fun to have that conversation
Yeah.
with people. But man, yeah, we had a ball. I can't
Yeah.
wait to go again.
Yeah, I
It
don't know
was
when
a
their
lot of
next
fun.
one is. They haven't announced it yet.
Yeah.
But as soon as they do, we'll be sure to.
Yeah.
Well,
Put the names
usually,
out there.
usually the next one is in a different place,
Yeah, they
right?
hop back
Because
and
don't
forth
they
between
do
a
a
couple places. I think
rotational
they do one
of the
in
area?
East Hampton, I think they
Yeah.
do
Yes,
it. out
East
of.
Hampton. They
Yeah,
do
because
one.
Another
they
one?
tag team with like what PvP and
Yeah,
something
PvP
else.
and other Limitless out in Maine.
But
Who
we can wait
airs-
till they come back here.
And Limitless does a public access show, so you could air their stuff on your channel.
I would love. Do you air it?
I do.
Oh,
I do.
well,
I'll get in touch with Randy, the
I
guy
would
that runs
love
it, and
to air it.
pass that along to you.
You know, I got an email from someone saying they do a bunch of wrestling content, and I wrote back yes, and then
That was a guy from Rhode Island.
yes.
Yeah,
I never
I
got
did
back.
the same. He never got back to me either.
Yeah, I was like, "What's up with
I
that?"
aired like one show, and then he never got back to me again.
I was like, "Send it over, bud."
Oh well,
Nothing. Okay.
it is what it is. We got to get into
We
East
have
River.
to move on. East River. All I gotta say is, you sold stuff. I sold stuff.
I did.
I did fantastic money. Like I did
Yeah.
really
Did
well.
Mark
I
get
did
there
all
on
right.
time?
Huh?
Did you get there on time, Mark?
I did. I was there at like 8:30.
He did. He did. I was very proud of him.
Yeah.
Josh, I went to bed at
This guy, on the other hand,
I
is
went
like a
to-
walking zombie.
I went to bed at midnight or 12:30. I was up at 5. I was at East of the River by 6:15. Then I didn't clear out until I didn't get home till like 4. No joke. I got home. I had a quick dinner. I sat on the couch for 2 hours. I was like, I kept waking up and falling asleep. And I walked into the bedroom. I go, Allison. She goes, "Are you drunk?" I go, I just gotta go to bed. Like I was
Not for nothing.
mess.
I got home that after East of the River, which I've decided I probably won't ever do vending again if I'm going to be working the front door,
Yeah.
because you really can't do both. It's
I had a
don't
feeling
know
it was
how
going to be
people
too
do that.
much.
No, it's not a lot. It's just it's a annoyance to have to like sell stuff as well as work the door, because you're like literally like door here, your stuff here. You're like literally just bopping back and forth continually.
Yeah.
And you can't focus on one or the other. So you can't like the people who are looking at your stuff, you can't like talk with them because you have someone coming in that needs to pay to get in.
Yeah.
So you're like, it's doesn't work.
Yeah.
I mean, if other people can do it, good for them.
It was good to have you back, though, Mark, because you haven't been to a show in a while.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, well, it just hasn't worked out schedule-wise and stuff.
Right.
But, but at the end of after I got home, it was probably around like 4 because I had to stop and feed my sister-in-law's animals on the way home because they were at the Brandi Carlile concert at Tanglewood.
Ooh.
Yes.
Wow.
So
in the storms.
It didn't storm that bad, they said out there. A little bit here and there, but nothing major.
Nice.
Yeah. They're like the second people in line to get into the lawn area.
Wow.
They went there really early.
Jeez.
But
They went that early, but
It's better than us. We went to the Yard Goats game, got 2 outs, and it rained, lightning, the whole thing.
Yeah.
It was awful.
Yeah.
But no, so I got home. By the time I got home, I think it was like 4:35 almost.
It's still not that bad.
I sat down, put on the Formula One race, and the next thing I knew, it was 6:30.
Yeah.
I'd passed out.
Same here.
Sat in my chair upstairs.
Oh.
Snoozed.
The end of that Formula One race, though, that was hilarious.
I totally missed it because
Oh,
I
you
fell
missed
asleep.
it?
I slept the whole thing. I got like
it was a shit show.
I woke up and the race was ending, and like all the people that I was like watching that were in the lead weren't there anymore. I'm like, what the heck's going on? So I had to like rewatch it again, and I was like, well, that's nuts. And then I turned on. After that was over, the NASCAR race was still happening. I'm like, how is this race still going on? It started the same time I started watching Formula One. Then it rained an hour and a half, so I had to sit. Then I caught the end of that, watched the end of that race, which was ended up being not as interesting as it was going to be. And the guy I don't like won, but whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah.
So East River, another great show.
It was a good show.
Yeah,
I think
not as many kids as I was expecting.
Yeah, I talked to Scott afterwards.
So I don't know if that's a summer thing.
February, obviously, getting people in on the summer show has always been hard. I think this is one of the better summer shows because last summer show, I remember it being dead.
Yeah.
This had a constant flow of people.
Yeah.
It wasn't overabundance, but it was a good flow. February still was one of the best shows we've ever had.
Yeah.
I think October will be the same.
October and February
Summer
are always
is
good shows.
always hard.
It's a tough
Well,
get.
because
this was a good
it's right
one.
after school lets out, so people are probably on vacation.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
doing
'cause
that, so.
it's also that weekend right before this week where
It's the-
everyone
yeah,
goes on
fourth
vacation
stuff.
usually, so you
Yes.
have a lot of people away on vacation.
Also, the weather, it was a little stormy. It didn't stop people from coming out, though. People did come
no,
out.
there's still a lot of people. It's
Yeah.
just, it was a very hit or missy.
And, like, I give my wife all the credit because I moved a lot of stuff because she was like, oh, we should try this and this and the other thing.
Yeah.
And those things worked.
Some things didn't, but, not everything's a home run. You get some bunts and some singles, that's fine.
But for the most part, everything
No, I know, I'm
worked
just saying.
that we tried. This is
Not trying to get her head too big. I don't want her to be able to fit to the doorway
What?
in
No.
the house,
Yeah,
well, I have
don't
to give her
forget.
credit. She wasn't there.
She's
Don't
not gonna
forget,
listen
you
to
can
this.
make the
Didn't watch
Hall
the
of Fame
show.
for being the third good.
Yeah.
What? What'd you say, Josh?
Third good?
You can make the Hall of Fame for being a third good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do.
All I'm saying is, for me, because of her, a lot of stuff did work and sold very well.
Yeah.
In Manchester, we have coming up the very last Sunday of July, which before you know we'll be here.
Will be.
And that show is always packed because
Yes.
Andrew does an amazing job with promotion.
Brian, how'd the D&D stuff go?
That's a Manchester show thing
Oh.
more than a here thing.
Believe it or not, I sold a lot of dice. I sold a lot of dice and that's
Knick-knacky stuff.
knick-knacky stuff when it comes to D&D. The old stuff, I only sold 2 things. Manchester and the Bristol show is where I usually sell a lot of the old
Yeah,
D&D
because you get a
stuff.
lot more
Yes.
gamer stuff at
Yeah.
Manchester than you do at the Enfield one.
Right. Anyway, great show. Scott knocked it out of the park. We'll be back in October, the last Sunday
Yeah,
in
he put the
October.
deposit down, so we're definitely doing it.
We're in like Flynn.
The consummate halfway through the day, Scott stopping by and being like, "This is the last one I ever do. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm not doing it ever again." Then 2 hours later, he comes back and goes, "I just put the deposit down for October."
Yeah.
I
And
was like, "I'm not going to listen to you anymore.
And,
Go away."
And I never want to hear anybody or Scott say the current meme that's happening right now. I think we should put it to bed. that
Yes,
meme.
it's officially dead when Scott starts saying it continually.
Yeah.
Anytime anything Scott says, that means it's not cool anymore.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't care if he listens to the show. He knows.
He doesn't listen to the show.
He does.
Well,
What are you talking
No,
about, though?
We're not saying
we're 30 minutes in.
We're not-
We're stopping.
Okay, just wondering.
We're
Okay.
moving on to the Acolyte.
Acolyte
Episode 5. Show sucks. Moving on to the next topic.
No. Let's. This will be a 10-minute review. We can get it done in 10 minutes.
Here, I got you.
I get done in 5
Cool
minutes.
fighting. That's about it.
Hold on. Okay, episode 5.
Cool lightsabers. Everyone dies.
I will give you. How about this? We'll just make this quick. I'll give you my thoughts. Where I land right now.
Brian, you're
Your
taking
thoughts
too
where
long
you
to
land, we
explain
move
it.
on.
Just give your opinion.
Yeah.
Stop
go ahead.
explaining. Go for it.
I know.
Go.
That's what I'm saying. Ay. Okay, Acolyte season 5. I would say
Episode 5.
It's
not going to make it to season 5.
episode 5. No. This show,
Please, God, don't do it
like
for
I said before, I would have dropped out after episode 3. This show is really just not for me. But we're gonna make it through. See how this
I don't know
ends.
who this show's for.
Hold on. I know. Let me give you my quick review. You can give yours. I'll be real quick. Episode 5. I'll give credit where credit's due. Some of the fighting was decent. I don't say it was good. That first lightsaber fight, it was just like, let's put trees in front of everything. I can't see what's going on. I don't think it was spectacular, but I think this show does have one thing that the choreograph for fighting scenes has been good or decent. And that doesn't make a show because the story writing in the story arc of these characters is not very good. Yet again, we've had one of our characters, I think it's Maya, go from, or Osha, I want to kill everybody. I don't want to kill everybody. I'm going to turn myself in, to literally the next scene going after the Jedi again. It makes no sense. Also, this episode should have been part of last episode. Cutting it in half like this made no sense. I think this episode, the pacing is bad. Story writing is just bad. I think the fighting is probably its highest, what it has going for it, but it, to me, does not make a show good. It was probably the best episode of the whole season. The bar was set low for me, so this was like just a little step up. But overall, I still think the show is mediocre at best. The characters, I don't know what's going on. I think it's silly. It's just bad writing. And for me, I think last week, I was at a 6, like, baseline. And I'd say I'm at a 5 after this episode. The only thing I'm interested to see is if now our character switched clothing all of a sudden and cut her hair. So now she's pretending to be the good person. Does she kill Soul? That's what I want to see what happens. Also, the writing's bad when Soul can sense something, but then when he gets on the ship with the wrong person, he doesn't sense anything.
Yeah.
How do you... The writing is never consistent with the show.
Well, like the gopher notices.
I know, but...
The gopher's going to blow the lid off everything.
But the thing is, they took off with the gopher. The gopher's still there, right?
No, the gopher's on the ship with them.
The thing is...
That's what he's saying, Mark, is that Basil knows it's not the right person.
Yes.
Soul doesn't.
I know, but Basil's going to tell
I understand,
Soul.
but I'm
But
saying
again,
the writing
Brian,
is not consistent.
No one knew Palpatine was what's his face?
Yeah, it was the
city,
the head of the
the
Senate.
head of the Senate. So
yeah,
it's all dark side shit.
yeah.
I guess. But also, we predicted who the Sith was. The other part that bothered me about this episode, and I'll throw it to you. This is the one part. He killed half the crew. They disarmed him. You kill him.
Yeah.
The fact that one of the twins is like, no, don't. No. You
decapitate.
That is the Jedi way. You disarm them and kill them. He killed half
But see,
your
this
crew.
is not the Jedi way yet. This is still the old Jedi.
No,
where they're
this is High
we
Republic.
don't harm people. We
No.
We're basically police people. We're
No.
basically officers. of
Soul
law.
was going to kill him, and he took
Well,
orders.
he was turning to the dark side.
He took orders from someone who dropped out of the academy, who has no right to say
because
anything.
she was getting to his.
It was dumb.
He was gonna turn to the
dumb.
dark side.
It was dumb
But again, Brian, it's High Republic times.
Yes,
I
the
know,
rules are
but
different.
it was so dumb.
The
That's
warriors.
the thing. The
They
rules are
were
different here than they are
peacekeepers.
later on.
He would have taken him out because he killed half of the people right there
Right.
and then.
Yeah.
But you still have to think. They're peacekeepers at this time.
Yeah, they're not.
They're not supposed to be attacking. They're supposed to be defending.
Yeah.
I
It's
understand,
after this,
but
everything
when
changes.
someone just takes out half of your party, you're gonna either put
My
them
other
in.
thing.
You're gonna take them out.
I guess Jedi just leave people behind.
Yes.
Like you fall where you fall, and your body gets left there.
I thought the same thing too. I think it was dumb. In my opinion,
We don't
the story
gather the Jedi to take them back.
the
and-
writing is, and it was goofy that the bad guy got taken away by a bunch of bugs. He was like, "Woo!" and then he was up there forever, and
Or
then he
even
just
more
came
crazy.
down.
Think
I was
about
like,
it.
so dumb.
Think about it. There's literally on that planet. There are 6 lightsabers, just sitting there, right now, in the story.
Yeah.
What?
Anyway, this episode, I would have stopped. Like I said, it was the best out of all of them, but the bar was set low. That's all I gotta say.
The only reason why it
about
was the best
Mark,
of all of them is because of the fights. Besides that, everything else sucked. The storytelling was terrible. The acting was painful. The Sith guy
was predictable.
was predictable, and it also, as soon as he gets the helmet off, he just gets increasingly more annoying and whiny and bratty and CWE, and I hate it with a passion.
I mean,
I hate his dumb hair style that they give him when he's doesn't have the helmet on. It's that wispy hair in front of your face, like, I'm broody and emotional, and I don't wear sleeves because I'm bad. It's like, what the hell, dude? Like, all of a sudden now you're in like your gym outfit. It's like you look like a rejected Foot Clan member
yes.
without the rest of your outfit on. And it's just like, and then the stupid thing
Oh
with
God, he does.
like the sister like pushing the other one away and being like, you never were good at blocking. It's like, you weren't good at writing, but that's fine. And then she just randomly picks, like you said, picks up a lightsaber, cuts her hair off,
and now
then she's exactly the same person. Oh, wait a minute, they're twins. Who would ever think they would switch places? They're gonna parent trap them now.
And she basically took her clothes.
Like, what are they
They
gonna-
switched clothing.
Like, what is May gonna do? Like, try to get Saul and the Sith guy together so they can finally get married and finally live together as a family? Like, what the hell are we doing
She's gonna have
here?
to kill Soul.
She's not gonna kill Saul. She's just there.
We have 3 episodes left.
She's literally had changed her mind now, and it was going to be a good person. It was going to turn herself in.
Well,
and now
clearly-
she's
I
randomly
know.
not doing that, and now she's going to try to kill Soul.
It's
like, what is your motive?
We
What
don't
is
know.
your wait? What are you? What's going on?
Yes.
Like, who is this?
This is
like,
why
The
writing
only,
is
the only
bad.
thing I could think of
the whole thing is bad.
is she wants to
The
know
show has
what
gone
they told
from-
her sister. That's the only thing. But still, they
I-
could have done it a different way. But it seems
They
like
could have done it 1,000
they
different
just
ways.
made up.
But this show is so badly done and so badly written that it literally could kill Star Wars.
No, I don't think so.
This show could for me, could make me not want to watch Star Wars ever again.
No, I think Star Wars.
This show is god awful.
I know, but it's not
It's
gonna
a
kill.
steaming pile of dog poop
It's
on
not
a
gonna- it's
hot
not-
sidewalk.
It's not gonna kill.
This show has gone from a 6 from the beginning of me talking
Yeah.
about it as a 6. It is now at a 1. I don't want to watch this anymore. I'm only watching this for the show.
Me too. I would have stopped
don't-
a while ago.
Don't care about this.
Yeah, I honestly don't
And
care
the
about
fact that we've
anybody.
given it at least 8 minutes is 8 minutes more of the time than I want to give it. So we're going to move on because I don't want to talk about this
Yeah,
anymore.
that's what I tried to say.
It's making me angry.
Cool
and I don't
lightsaber
wanna talk
fights. That's
about
about
it.
it.
All right. Well, hold on.
It's bad enough I have to deal with this tomorrow and I have to watch another episode.
You
I'm
don't have to. We could stop watching it. Or do you want to see how it ends?
Well, it's like a completist thing. It's like I've already gone more than halfway through,
Yes.
like Star Trek Discovery. I don't want to watch the end of last season, but I've watched the other seasons.
So you have to finish it.
So, and Claire got the thing through Walmart for the Paramount Plus, so now I get to watch it. So now I got to finish the series because I ended the series. So I'm like, well, I probably watched the last season
Yeah.
to see how this ends. I've watched the whole other episode seasons.
Yeah.
This one's not great, but not
Yeah.
terrible. But
I mean,
we'll get through it.
I'll say this for me right now. I think this is probably one of my least favorite Star Wars shows. I mean, It is kind of cringy at times. It's really
This is literally the
not,
bottom of the barrel of Star Wars
It's
shows.
not fun. It's not fun.
There's no redeeming quality of this. I don't care about any of the people in it.
Yeah.
If like the galaxy were to explode in the last episode, I'd be like, all right, whatever.
You know what this show should have been about? Because the twin side story is dumb. It really should have been Soul, and they hinted at the fact that Quagmire,
We
not
shouldn't
the
have
Sith,
seen
he was
him until the last episode.
They were maybe a Padawan of some sort because they
Yes.
talked about that. The show
I thought that they were going to say it was his Padawan.
The show
that would have
should've-
made way more sense.
the
But they
show
couldn't
should have
have
been
because
about
they've
that.
already met. They can't do that because they met, so he knows who he's seen his face. He has to know him from something else. He can't.
I
be
know,
his-
that's the thing,
He
it, like,
can't
makes-
be one of his students because he would have known.
Yeah, but it makes no sense.
That's why I'm saying, going back to the feeling, Soul only feels when it's convenient for writing,
Yeah.
but not what the character should be
and
like.
they MacGuffin it. There's a lot of MacGuffins in this show.
Yeah.
But we're 40 minutes in. We got to get into this.
All right.
We got to get wrapping up here.
Okay, we got 20 minutes. Okay.
We're moving on. It's time for the Geekonomics Wrestling Challenge. Going into this weekend's event, the last event in season 1 of series 1 of the challenge. Josh has 36 points. I have 35 points. Brian, I believe, has 33 points. If I remember correctly. No, 33 points. 33 points, I think.
Well, you have it
Around
written down
there.
somewhere.
I've written down somewhere. I don't know exactly, but it's around there. It's really close.
I hope you're
Hey,
keeping
Mark.
track, Mark.
Before we get super into this, how are we doing the bonus again?
The bonus, which we will do at the very end of the thing, you're going to pick the event and the champion that both women and men, who you think they're going to...
And if they win, right?
we don't not so much of they win. Well, we're going to pick who wins, but that's just a regular 2-point.
No. Because remember, that's what I'm trying to say is we discussed this, and we changed it twice.
Yes. So
And
we're
was
doing
gonna
it
be
this
20
way.
points. So
You have a
that's-
choice. You have an option. Your choices you can make are the event that the Money in the Bank briefcase will be cashed in at.
So that'll be your when.
That'll be your when. Then your who will be which champion they will cash in on,
So
or
that'll
who will
your
be the
against.
champion when they cash in.
When, who,
And then
if they win.
if
You get both, you get 10
they
points.
succeed on cashing in
Yeah.
at that time, and it's the person that you picked to win the Money in the Bank briefcase, then you get the extra points.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was trying to
So
say.
if
Is
you
you have to
just
get
pick
4 things
the event
right.
and the champion, and those are correct, but it's not the person you selected. Like, say you selected Carmelo Hayes, who has no chance of winning the Money in the Bank. But if you selected Carmelo Hayes then were to go on and cash in at a certain event and against a certain champion, and you have all 3 of those correct, then you get 20 points.
What?
No, 25 points.
What? This is all new.
You get an
No,
extra
no,
5
no.
points.
Make it-
no. This is what we talked about last time.
No,
No,
it
no,
was
we did
5
not.
points apiece.
Yeah, 5 points
No,
apiece.
we said 10 points.
You're
No.
adding
For the-
points. We can go back to the tape, but this
It
is
was
all new.
whoever wins the belt.
That's right. It was 5 points for the event,
Right.
5 points for the champion, an extra 10 points if
Right,
you
if you got
correctly
all
guess
4, then you would get
the
20.
person, and it's all correlates together.
Right.
So say it's
Not
Carmelo
25,
Hayes.
20.
Yeah, 20 points. So say it's Carmelo Hayes and the event and the champion.
And if they win,
And he cashes in and wins.
Yes.
So you get all
that's
4
your
of them.
20.
Yes.
That's
Right.
5 each
That's-
to get
yes,
20
yeah.
points.
Yes.
but if you just get whoever wins the Money in the Bank tonight,
Yes.
that's your 2 points.
Yes.
Yes.
Then it's 20 extra bonus
Right.
later on.
Yes.
Yes.
That's, okay, that's all I want to make sure.
And that 20, you can get
It
5,
could be
10.
and it could be next season.
Yes.
Yes. You
Yeah.
can
So-
go at any time.
What we should do is, once this is done, we should have them printed out or written up, and Josh should have them back there.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
then, if we forget,
I'll take them
Josh
all and I'll
will
have them on a
always-
sheet, and then I'll have them up
Yeah.
there. So
Right. So then he will always
he'll have
see
them
it.
ready to go.
Ready
so,
to go.
all right.
Let's get into it.
Get into it. First match is the 6-man match. Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens against the Bloodline. They don't say who from the Bloodline is in this match. It's just a picture of all 4 of them.
Because there's a
So
lot
I'm
of
saying the
Which I think is
Bloodline.
hilarious.
So I don't know who that's going to be, and I don't want to write down a certain
Well,
person.
Solo
then that
will be
person's
part
on it.
of them.
Yeah, it's going to be, or it could be just the 3 henchmen, and Solo stands on the outside. Who knows? So, Brian, who do you pick to win this?
I Honestly, I think we're building something new. And I think that this will be the only time you can have Cody Rhodes lose because there's no belt involved.
Yes.
So I'm going to say the Bloodline because this could build to SummerSlam.
All right.
So Bloodline.
All right. Josh, who you got?
I agree with Brian. This is a perfect time to actually have, Cody lose. Also, you can set up more stuff with Bloodline, and maybe even because now you have no Paul, you can possibly set up something with Roman and Paul coming back or something. They're celebrating in the ring, and all of a sudden, either somebody else shows up to beat them up, or
Yeah.
it's just a good way to get a story going. So I would say the Bloodline win.
All right. I will clean sweep this and say the Bloodline also will win as well.
Yeah.
Now moving on to Intercontinental Championship match. We have Sami Zayn, the champion, up against Braun Breaker.
The dogs are loose.
We'll go to Josh to start this one off.
Okay. See, this is tough because
I agree. You want me to go first, Josh?
honestly, I have no idea how this could go, but I have a feeling it makes more sense for Braun to lose and continue with he's getting the short end of the stick type of feeling, because people keep interrupting his matches. He keeps, not winning. So I can see him losing to just continue that storyline.
Okay.
So I'm going to go with Sami winning.
All right. Josh, Brian, who you got?
Basically, after watching Raw, gave me a little bit more indication in who I believe will win. And I think Sami Zayn keeps the belt. I agree with Josh. I think Braun Breaker, this allows Braun to even go crazier as we lead into SummerSlam. I just feel this is just another match to kind of have Sami defend his title, and it's not against Chad Gable. Thank God, because I was getting tired of that. So it's going to be Sami all the way, but I think it's going to be a really tough match for him.
All right. I am going Braun Breaker.
Wow.
I think it's strap the rocket ship to the back of the biggest thing going right now. And by doing that, you give him the belt. And you send him on his way as Intercontinental Champion all the way to SummerSlam. And just ride the wave.
Interesting.
Then you have Sami come back against him at SummerSlam. And then Sami possibly wins at SummerSlam. Wins the belt back. But give Braun the run for the month or whatever. And send him on his way as the next big thing. So, there you go. Moving on. Women's Money in the Bank match. It's Naomi against Tiffany Stratton, against Zoe Stark, against Chelsea Green, against Io Sky, and Lyra Valkyria, who I'm not sure if I spelled her name correctly, but I shot for it anyways.
Lyra Valkyria?
Yeah.
Close, yeah.
So we'll go to
you're
Brian
right.
for this one.
Oh, you're going with me first?
Yes.
So I'm not gonna go crazy. I'm looking forward to this match. All these women are fantastic. Zoe Stark doesn't have a chance.
Mm-hmm.
I think Chelsea Green doesn't have a chance.
Okay.
I also think Naomi, even though I like her, I don't think she has a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Io Sky doesn't have a chance. I think it
Or Io Sky.
Io
said
Sky. I
Iowa
apologize.
Sky.
Io Sky. Sorry.
Iowa Sky.
Io Sky. I apologize.
It's an independent wrestler
It
right
is.
now. Iowa Sky.
I think it's going to be between Tiffany and Lyra, honestly, between these two. It could go, in my opinion, it could go either or. I really don't know where they're landing it, man. And story-wise, it makes sense that Tiffany could get it because Lyra doesn't have much of a story going on right now. So I'm going to say it's Tiffy time.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
All right. Josh, who you got?
I thought you fell asleep for a second.
Like I said, no, it's
Sorry to
like
wake
I said
you.
to Brian.
It's tough.
Money in the Bank is such a wild card that like any of them can win. It doesn't matter. Like
Because it's one of those shows where it
Yeah.
basically sets up the stories for
right,
the next.
that's what I mean. It's,
whatever.
and like it also, again, like King and Queen of the Ring.
Yeah.
You could set up somebody to move up or
Yeah.
to So,
Yeah.
Lyra. I'm just going to go Lyra.
All right. I am going to agree with Brian and say it's Tiffy time.
You know, Josh made a good point, though. You're picking Tiffany.
I am.
Real quick, Josh made a good point because we know that what's her face?
Nia Jax.
Nia Jax is queen. Nia Jax is working with Tiffany right now.
Yes.
And now whoever, this is obviously Money in the Bank, but right now Nia Jax
Yes.
is going to be fighting who?
Bailey.
Bailey
At SummerSlam.
Okay, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Let's move on.
All right. And now it's time for the men's Money in the Bank Championship.
This is a tough one.
Money in the Bank match. It's LA Knight against Carmelo Hayes versus Andrade versus Chad Gable versus main event Jey Uso versus who made it in last night, last man in, Drew McIntyre. Josh, who you got?
It's like there's two people that I want to have it. It's between Jay and Drew.
Mm-hmm.
The only problem is, I think Drew wins, it sort of kills his storyline with Punk.
Mm-hmm.
So I also wonder is if he's about to win it,
Yes.
all of a sudden he gets pushed off the ladder by CM Punk.
Yeah.
Drew wins. Jay wins. So
Okay.
I'm saying Jay.
You're saying Jay.
Yeah.
All right. Brian, who you got?
This is difficult.
To go in the line of Josh, this morning after watching Raw, I was like, Drew's going to win tonight. And he won Raw. I was thinking to myself, my through line would be Drew is about to get Money in the Bank. CM Punk ruins it for him. Could CM Punk take Money in the Bank even though he's not part of this? Is that allowed?
It's happened before. Brock Lesnar did it.
Yeah, he did it in Hartford.
Yeah.
So my storyline that's in my head is CM Punk yet again could mess this up for Drew because I didn't think about that last time, and you guys are right, and it happened.
Yeah.
CM Punk was destroyed recently by Drew, so now the beef is even bigger.
Yes. The bracelet, the whole 9 yards.
If I want to say Drew wins this, the thing is, I want to say Drew wins this, but at the same time, I feel like picking CM Punk, but I'm not. I'm going to say CM Punk's going to ruin it for Drew. See, this is really hard. I'm going to go Drew.
Okay.
I mean, a part of me wants to just say CM Punk, but I don't know because he hasn't even wrestled.
No.
I don't know when he's coming be physically able to wrestle yet.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So
I am going to agree with Brian again and say Drew McIntyre. And because the reason why I'm saying this is because I've been saying it right along since he got cashed in on. The only way you make this storyline work is he then becomes the hypocrite by winning Money in the Bank. Then he has to then cash in on somebody
that's what I'm thinking.
and has to be like, well, I got the briefcase now, so it happened to me, so I'm going to make it happen to somebody else.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's the
where,
other line.
That's where I was getting the tough part of.
So
Would it make sense to give it to him just to?
yeah,
Screw
we got to
with the
complete that
whole-
story. Yeah. So Drew McIntyre. All right, and now the final match, which I'm assuming will be the final match of the night.
Yeah.
The World Heavyweight Championship. Damian Priest against Seth Rollins. If Seth Rollins wins, Damian Priest has to leave the Judgment Day. If Damian Priest wins, Seth Rollins can't fight for the championship as long as Damian is champion.
Oh, I thought it was period. So Seth
No,
can't
as
go
long
after.
as-
No, it's just
As long as Damian's champion,
He
Seth
can't- he can't
go
challenge.
against him again. So we'll go to you first, Brian.
Okay, so this goes back to Drew. I'm almost thinking Damian if this is how it happens that night. If Drew wins, my thought was Drew gets Money in the Bank. Damian Priest beats Seth Rollins. Drew charges in, cashes in, and takes down Damian because this would come full circle. Also, Drew ended Monday Night Raw saying, I'm leaving Money in the Bank as the championship.
Yeah.
That is so I in my head I'm going with my gut. My gut is Damian Priest keeps the championship, okay, I also want to say that I feel...
Well, save your bonus thing.
That's my bonus.
Your bonus thing.
So
save
that's
your
my
bonus
bonus.
thing.
You kind of know my bonus.
Yeah,
But that's my bonus.
save it. All right. Josh, what do you got?
I think it just makes more sense for Damian to win than to have Seth win and Damian get kicked out of Judgment Day. Because what's the point?
Well, they're kind of building something with those.
I know, but unless someone like interferes to make it happen, to start destroying Judgment Day, but I just don't see them doing that right now.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just say Damian wins.
They are working with.
They're working something.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going against the grain.
Oh man.
Seth Rollins is gonna win and kick Damian Priest out of the Judgment Day because Finn Balor is gonna come down, along with other members of the Judgment Day, to try to interfere with the match to give Damian the win, but it's going to backfire.
Yes.
Be it a live interference of some sort or some craziness. And we begin the dissolution of the Judgment Day. And Finn Balor revealed on Monday that it's been a plan this whole time, that Finn's been working with Liv to slowly destroy the Judgment Day.
Well, on Monday Night Raw, we had Finn stand up for Liv saying,
yes,
she got us the titles.
We should bring her in.
You have done nothing for us.
Yeah, we should bring her in.
You change. And there was a back and forth.
Yes. So Finn turns on Damian, costs him the belt. And that sets up Damian versus Finn at SummerSlam.
Interesting.
And that's when Mommy returns and takes out Liv.
It's going to be big. I'm so excited for
All right,
this
so
match.
Seth Rollins wins. Now we're on to our bonuses.
Yes.
Josh, we'll go to you first. We want your event, champion, and will they succeed the cash-in? You picked Lyra Valkyria.
Yeah, so we're just doing the women's first?
We'll do your women's first.
Okay.
As your women's champion of the winner of Money in the Bank. So who will Lyra Valkyria, what event will Lyra Valkyria cash in at?
See, again, it's Money in the Bank. Anything can happen.
So we're going if Lyra, Lyra Valkyria wins.
I'm going if Lyra wins.
What event will she cash in on?
I think it would make sense for her to cash in Bash in Berlin.
Okay.
And
so the champion that she's going to cash in on would be?
I'm going to say Bayley. Because I don't see Nia beating Bayley for the championship recently.
Okay. And will she succeed?
I think so. Yeah,
all right.
Sure. So
you have her cashing at Bash in Berlin against Bayley, and she will
yes.
succeed. All right.
Yes.
Write that down.
Write that down.
I already did. I did.
Okay.
Brian, women's winner, you have Tiffany Stratton.
Mm-hmm.
What event will she cash in at?
You know, I could play the long game, but I'm not. I'm going to play the short game. I feel that if Tiffany Stratton does get Money in the Bank, SummerSlam, as of now, it is Nia Jax and Bayley.
Yep. So your event is SummerSlam.
Hold on. Nia Jax and Tiffany are kind of working together, but I don't really think that Tiffany is someone that's going to hold alliance very long.
You think it's a ruse?
Uh-huh.
I think it could be a ruse to give herself the belt. So I think that Tiffany Stratton hits it at SummerSlam, and I think Bayley could win that match, but I think Tiffany comes in and takes the belt.
So you're saying SummerSlam, so write down SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Against Bayley. And will she succeed?
Bayley will win against Nia, but Tiffany will come in and sweep
I'm
the
saying,
belt.
will Tiffany succeed?
Yes.
So yes. So let's put yes. All right. Now on to mine. I also have Tiffany Stratton winning the Women's Money in the Bank. I am going to say she's going to cash in at a random SmackDown, and she will cash in on Nia Jax after Nia Jax is taken out by whoever, be it Bayley, Charlotte, returning Charlotte, or whoever random person shows up and takes out Nia Jax, or something happens to Nia Jax and she's laid out, and she will succeed. So there you go.
I'll write that down.
I got it.
Okay.
I already did mine already. All right. So now we're moving on to the men's side.
Yep.
Brian, we'll start with you.
we're doing good on time wise.
What event will your winner,
Here
Drew
we go.
McIntyre?
This is my plan. If this is how it happens, and
Yes.
usually the big matches last, so I do believe we're gonna have the World Heavyweight Championship match last.
Yes.
I think Drew, he is already stated what he wants. He is fed up.
Got it.
If CM Punk does not ruin this for him, which
Yes.
could happen,
Yes.
and this is all hinges on Punk not doing anything, Drew gets Money in the Bank. Damian Priest wins against Seth Rollins. Drew comes in, takes down Damian real
The
quick.
guy who cashed in on him.
Yes, gets the belt. So I'm gonna say Money at the Bank.
Money in the Bank. He's going to cash in on Damian Priest,
Yeah,
and he's going to succeed.
He's going to
win.
pull a Bailey.
All right.
Yeah.
Because Bailey
Alright.
did that in Hartford.
Josh, we'll go to you next on the men's side.
I picked Jay.
You picked Jey Uso.
I think we're going to have some bloodline stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I think eventually he'll be able to cash in at the Rumble.
Royal Rumble. Okay. And who will he be cashing in on as champion?
This is where I think it's going to be interesting. I think he's going to cash it in on Drew.
Okay.
Because Drew's going to do the stuff with Punk
Yeah.
and eventually either win or that storyline's going to go away.
Okay.
And he's going to then challenge Damian because he lost it to him.
Okay.
And then he's going to... So Drew's going to beat Damian. And
Yes.
in that match, because...
Shenanigans.
Yeah, shenanigans. Jay's going to cash in at the Rumble
Yes.
and win.
All right. Okay. So, Royal Rumble, Drew McIntyre, and yes. All right, we'll put that down. Now on to me. I've been excited about this because I'm really excited. If this happens, I'm going to be very excited about it because this is like going to be awesome if it works out.
Mm-hmm.
I have Drew McIntyre winning the Money in the Bank. I have him then cashing in Saturday night against Seth Rollins and him not succeeding. And here's why I have him not succeeding.
Oh, I see.
Because as he cashes in and he's about to take out Seth Rollins, CM Punk comes in,
Oh,
takes out Drew McIntyre, costs him,
Yeah, so
The
you're going to
cash
get
in.
double cost.
so he loses the Money in the Bank,
I like that.
loses his championship. The third time CM Punk has cost Drew McIntyre the championship.
Yeah.
This sends Drew over the edge. Complete Scottish psychopath.
Yeah.
Shows up Monday night, demands a match at SummerSlam. Hell in a Cell against CM Punk.
Wow. I like where you're going with this, Mark. I like where you're
So
going
Money in
with
the
this.
Bank against Seth, and he will not succeed.
Wow. I like that. I like that. I like the way you think.
I'm banking on those 20 points, man. I'm excited for it.
Part of me feels like I want that to happen more than what I want. The way
But
I
it's
see
just
it.
it's just funny because anything can happen with Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've seen random stuff happening.
Yeah.
But I was at the shows where Bailey won the Money in the Bank and then won the belt that night.
Yeah.
Then it was all that same night. Brock Lesnar just happens to show up and win.
He
Money
takes
in the
out
Bank.
somebody in the back, gets
No,
taken out.
no. That whole thing with Lesnar, he was just added to the show.
Oh, that's right. They added a
Remember?
seventh guy. Yeah, he was a seventh
everyone was
person.
in it, and they just didn't want
Yeah.
Mustafa Ali to win.
Yeah.
and
so they
said,
threw him in.
yeah,
'Cause he was filling in for Kofi.
Anything can happen.
Yeah, anything can happen. I mean, Christ, during the men's thing, CM Punk could show up. Drew could almost take
See,
it.
I
CM
think
Punk can grab
I
it.
think about that, but that's not.
Too predictable. Maybe.
It's not too predictable. It's not.
It's not him
It's
winning
not enough
anything.
to send Drew over
Yeah.
the edge.
Losing money. Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Winning the briefcase.
Yeah.
Drew's like, I'm doing this.
Yes.
This is happening.
Yes.
I'm gonna get my belt back.
And he's saying his plan out
I'm
loud.
doing his thing.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
I'm coming down. I'll be there at the match. He's gonna be sitting. He'll probably end up sitting ringside during the match,
waiting.
waiting. The shenanigans with Judgment Day happen. Seth ends up beating Damian somehow. Seth's hobbled. His knees messed up. Drew, ready to go, just hands the briefcase over. They ring the bell. The judgment, like Seth's in there. He's fighting Seth. the referee bump
imagine-
happens or something happens.
Can you imagine Claymore kick and then
Claymore kick, music plays. CM Punk comes out. Drew's like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Distracted. Seth recovers or something happens. Seth rolls up Drew, wins the match.
Right.
Seth stays champion. Damien's been kicked out of the Judgment Day.
Yeah.
CM Punk's on the entry ramp laughing his face off.
Yeah.
Or he comes down because Drew's been handing off like they did Monday night. And he hands off the bracelet to Michael Cole or whoever.
Yeah.
CM Punk appears, grabs the bracelet back from Cole, puts the bracelet on, is laughing at Drew as Drew's in the ring, hands on his head. Third time, how did this happen again to me?
Right.
How
Yeah.
does this guy keep doing this to me?
I think you're right. I think there's rules of 3.
That's
You
a
hit the
story.
third
That's
one.
like chef's kiss storytelling right there.
Right.
Like if
that happens, yes.
if I pull this off, you're not gonna be able to deal with me next week. That's all I'm gonna say. You're not gonna be able to deal with me.
well, that'd be a good thing we have a week off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good thing we're not gonna be doing it Monday
like I
because I'm gonna
said,
be like,
we will.
I'll be texting you both. If it happens,
Don't text me.
I want to blow your phones up. So
No,
don't,
because I'm not gonna watch it. Till
Yeah,
Sunday.
don't text Brian. He's not
well, no,
watching it
until
live.
you like after.
I'll
Like,
text you. I watched it.
Yeah.
So you know, both
Yeah.
of you. All right. We will be back in a week.
oh, you're gonna see it on Facebook because I'm probably.
Oh, I'm
on
off social
Facebook.
media until I watch it.
Yeah.
So I'm smart. I
Yeah.
don't go on social media.
Yeah.
All right. We'll be back in 2 weeks.
I'll send an eye emoji,
with
like big eyes emoji, like.
we'll be back on the 15th of
Or if it doesn't happen,
July.
I'll probably do it too, just to mess with your brains.
We'll go over the results. Mark, make sure you keep track of everyone's score.
I am. I have it in the computer. It's just I didn't write it down on the paper.
I know.
that's all.
I know. All right. We got to wrap it up
We do.
because I got to get to work and you
Yeah.
got work.
Yes.
So, Mark.
As always, thanks everyone for watching. Everyone have a safe and happy July 4th week. Don't blow your hand off or finger or get arrested by the cops
Yeah.
Get
for
shot in the
shooting
eye.
fireworks or shoot yourself in the eyeball. Any of the things all my neighbors have done. Don't do any of that stuff. And as always, be safe, be well, and be kind.
Rewind.
Night, everybody.
Good night.
Night, Rocky.
Night, Rocky.
We miss you.